Hello, my name is Indy. I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I've been putting up some videos about my experiences in the Jehovah's Witness Watchtower organization. Um, I've been getting comments and speaking with different people on my videos, on their videos. I spoke with an individual yesterday. I'd mentioned that I haven't been getting a lot of sleep lately, and they mentioned their fiance was an ex-member and going through their own difficulties in dealing with getting the programming out of their head and all the issues we accumulate from that brainwashing and the fear tactics that the Watchtower is so good at playing out. I started thinking about what they were saying when they asked, "Do you think it could be an issue? The insomnia, would that be an issue due to the being raised in the Jehovah's Witness so-called faith?" And I started thinking, when was the last time that I actually got a good night's sleep? Or a week where I could say I'd actually had a good night's sleep night after night. And I kept going back further and further, and I normally sleep about maybe 4 hours a night. You know, when I was healthy, I slept about 4 hours a night. I go days without sleep now. But I always found it strange that people were sleeping 8, 9 hours. One of my exes, or I guess my last ex, she had to have 8 hours or she was just a mess, and boy, you didn't want to be around her when she didn't get her sleep. It didn't feel natural to me that people would sleep 8 hours a night. You know, I've never slept that much. I have a really difficult time with sleep. I saw a video on Brother Jones' site, Jerry Jones. He makes some really funny videos and some really informative videos about the Jehovah's Witnesses. And he'd picked up this little cartoon video some Jehovah's Witness kid made that had been making bad comments on his site. So he went over to the Jehovah's Witness boy's site and grabbed a video off there. This boy made a video showing all these broken, tired people walking into this little box building with the jw.org sign on it. And they're coming in one door and I guess getting baptized, everything, and marching out the other door. It's this non-stop group of people, dead, tired, broken, coming into the Jehovah's Witness faith, coming out the other side, all awake and bright and chipper and smiling and ready to go. And I thought, holy smokes, that's playing in reverse. Because for those of us that were raised in the faith, I think we remember what it was like. Everybody in there just looks like death warmed over. They're tired because they're working. They're out doing the door-to-door service for the publishing company, the Watchtower organization, to, you know, peddle their magazines and books and garbage. They're always tired. They're always tired. I remember I seen more sick people as a Jehovah's Witness, as a group of people. You know, there was more sick people in that organization than in any group I've seen since. I've read a lot on Scientology. Apparently the people coming out of there are usually pretty broken and tired and messed up too, so I guess the Jehovah's Witnesses are pretty similar that way, for breaking people down and just destroying them. The issues that the people that have left, you know, good brothers and sisters that finally, you know, open their eyes and realize that this was wrong. This is definitely not Yahweh's organization. There's no way Jesus would have picked this organization. You know, anyone that does the actual research, you know, when they get the Holy Spirit and they start looking at what's being provided by the Watchtower organization, they come to a realization that this is all lies and it's not truth at all. And there's no way Jesus would have picked this organization if he'd magically come back invisibly in 1918 and did a assessment on all the religious organizations around the world. There's no way he would have picked the Jehovah's Witnesses as being the one true organization that was providing the best spiritual food, because they were making all kinds of silly, stupid statements. And it's very easy to find for yourself for any active members who choose to watch this video. I wouldn't lie, or check it out. You'll see for yourself. I don't understand how my family ended up in there. It was through my father, because we had to listen to him. He's the one that took us in, but he obviously did not research it at all. He just believed the BS that was fed to him. But by putting us in there, I have two sisters, one older, one younger, and myself, so there was three of us. Out of the three of us, there isn't one healthy individual, happy, normal individual. We're all adults now. I won't say if I have kids or not, because I don't want my father to find out, my blood father to find out, because that's one thing apparently he wants now, is grandkids. But I wouldn't let him know if I had any kids or not, because I wouldn't want any influence from him or the Jehovah Witnesses on them. My sisters don't have any kids. They haven't had proper relationships. They're sick all the time, or the younger one's sick all the time, messed up, and the stuff that comes out of her mouth is, I can't believe the things she says. And she's actually still an active Jehovah's Witness, I guess. No wonder that stuff's still pouring out of her mouth, but the insanity is just way out there. I recently started speaking with my older sister a couple of years ago, and we had a really honest talk a few days ago, maybe a week ago, and she's not very happy with her life. She's successful, that's all fine, but as far as being emotionally, mentally satisfied in life in general, she's not. This organization just destroys children, They constantly keep programming children with fear. I fell asleep this morning, finally fell asleep. I wasn't out for that long, maybe, I think 45 minutes or so. But I fell asleep to the point where I had a dream. And it was a nightmare that I started having in the mid-80s. There was a Watchtower that came out, and it said 1914 on the front, and something about the generation that won't die. And it had this picture of all these old people on it. I was just a little kid, and I was looking at these old people, and they weren't going to die, but to me they looked like, they're right at death's door, with jowls hanging down to the Adam's apple and stuff. And I thought, if these people aren't going to die, Armageddon's going to be here, tomorrow, maybe tonight. So terrified, because Armageddon, that's the one thing that they push all the time. It's right around the corner. But seeing that picture from the Watchtower, right on the front of the Watchtower, with all these old people that look like they're next to death, and they were going to be alive. Everything the Watchtower printed is true, because it comes right from God, right? I remember after that, I had nightmares all the time. All the time. Because the end was right there. Those people couldn't die, because the Watchtower told us they weren't going to die. I forget the exact issue. I know it was in the mid-80s. But I kept seeing those old people on that cover, and they were going to be alive when the end came, because I was a little kid, and the Watchtower didn't lie. It was straight from God. And that Watchtower started the nightmares, and they just wouldn't stop. Every time I was, having a decent dream, it would turn into Armageddon. Everything turned into Armageddon. I haven't had that nightmare in years, until when I finally passed out for, whatever, this morning, half hour, 45 minutes, whatever. I wake up soaked in sweat, and it's the exact same nightmare. I can see the cover of the magazine. I can see the old people, and they're going to be alive. But apparently that's changed now. There's been new light. And Now there's some deal about overlapping generations and all that bogus. But I've been watching videos from jw.org, these bunker videos they're putting up now, and the cartoons and stuff for the kids. They're still programming kids to be terrified all the time. You know, God must not like happy, or not God, but Jehovah definitely does not like happy, healthy children. Children must hurt Jehovah because you have to keep them terrified. You have to program them to be waiting for Armageddon and to be terrified of not making it into their paradise, because there's no way a kid's going to be in heaven, because you can't be one of the 144,000. So all that child's got to look forward to is paradise earth, but they're never worthy. Children are never worthy. You're always in trouble. You're getting grief for this, that, and the other thing all the time. You know, you're being told you're doing everything wrong. You have to work harder. You know, study harder. Not in school. Study the Bible harder, because Armageddon's right around the corner. Those bunker videos are just nasty. You have to see them if you haven't seen them. The jw.org bunker videos about Armageddon. I keep picturing these kids watching them. It's like that 1980 something, mid 80s Watchtower cover, What It Did to Me, because that's when the nightmare started. You know, they really started, because that one played out for so long. These bunker videos have to be doing the same thing to children. It's crazy. I don't understand why the government doesn't step in and stop this. It's obviously a cult. I'm glad so many brothers and sisters are getting together online. You know, all these different groups banding together, the apostate army, the vast apostate army. You know, I'm glad they're getting together, but we need to put more pressure on the legal authorities to do something about this, especially for the kids. I hate anybody that hurts children. And the Watchtower organization, they do it on the greatest level I've seen anywhere, from any organization. NAMBLA, or whatever, that men-boy love thing, their child love thing, they're probably the only people that could compete with the JWs as far as statistics for the amount of children damaged. Pretty much, well, no, every child that's raised in the Jehovah's Witness faith gets psychological damage. It's terrible. We have to do something. I'm sorry that this video is not really in any one direction. I don't have anything from the past I really want to talk about, but I just felt like I had to make this video today. We have to think about our kids, you know, and all children are our future. The children are the future, and if we allow millions of children to be psychologically damaged, these are the children that are going to be taking care of you when you get older. That, you know, if they're all messed up like this, remember your own childhoods, for those of you raised in the faith. Please, brothers and sisters, we have to get together. We have to stop this somehow.